Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our online classes. That's online classes of Education 3000. I am Noemi Paimal. And today we have something quite interesting. It's how to have a new perspective on architecture and school and designs and school. And we can do wonderful things with that. So this is an invitation for architects, designers, and everybody doing something with education. We will learn a lot from this online exchange or class or whatever. Let's begin. School, architecture, and design. The main thing, the core thing, when you talk about design and architecture, we go back, do you remember your class on the 5 Platonic solids and their meaning? That's the perfect shapes. So when you have the shapes inside a learning context, or mutual learning context, is great. You can see on the picture, you can see the tetrahedron, which is a pyramid with a triangle as a base, not a square, a triangle. Then you have the cube, which is the hexahedron. Then we have this beautiful shape, it's an octahedron. This one is a good one, icosahedron, and the dodecahedron. And they are linked, they have many symbols. The first one is linked with the fire and with inner connection. Second one, stability, connection with earth, means the soil, the element. Octahedron is air, meaning this is all the cognitive and the mental part, very beautiful creative mind. This one, icosahedron, is linked with water and it means cosmic consciousness, and dodecahedron is linked with DNA and Earth consciousness as a planet. So let's see some school. Here on the top left, there's a school from Mexico. It's called International Mandela Academy. You can see the flower of life on the floor. You can see a huge pyramid, and the all entire place is based on geometry. I will show you more pictures later on. And then you have beautiful here pyramids, and they are square based, and you can do many activities inside the pyramid actually as well. It can be small, you can do a small one, homemade, and the kids, they can go inside, or you can make the big one. This is a beautiful structure, is the dodecahedron, which, remember, is the shape of the DNA. When the DNA would spin up, it would be like dodecahedron above dodecahedron. And this is a lecture hall in Doha, in Qatar. It's a beautiful shape. The same, you can have a small one that they can go inside, or have structure and they can play with it up and down in the patio or inside the classroom. This is more structures with the dodecahedron. You can put them together or make, this is a small room. This is nice, like to sleep or to read books. The pictures at the bottom. And this is a couple of ideas for patios. You can put some geometric, perfect geometry, universal geometry. By the way, the next video will be only on universal geometry. You can mix with plants, of course. It's very important. Nature is pure geometry, and it's part of all design and architecture, especially with the children. They want flowers, they want all kinds of plants, medicinal plants, useful plants, colorful flowers, fruits, own garden, grow. And here you can see this wall on the left side is about climbing. And you can always put some climbing structure in your learning environment. They love it. The same here, bottom, they have the dodecahedron, and they can climb it, or they can go inside of it, which is great. Then always use a Fibonacci spiral. And that's something Dr. Lozanov used to say a long time ago from Suggestopedia, Bulgaria. You can either have it on the wall or the structure with this shape, and as well as the proportion, which is 1.6, which is a golden proportion. So make sure maybe the classroom or whatever environment, I don't like this name, classroom, the exercise books, whatever you have would be with a golden proportion. Then we can have some ideas about Feng Shui and Vastu Sastra. Feng Shui is more from China, Vastu Sastra more from India. So it would help to have some balance in the energy and high level of energy. Something very simple, like avoid, it's called the chi cuts, avoids all angles that will point toward you. This is very harmful. That means instead of having square column, you have round column. And if you have a square one, maybe you can wrap it up or put a plant or something, because each time you have an angle, it will make it would unbalance the energy. So the same with the angle of a table, of a cupboard. Don't have this pointing at you. The beams, avoid the beams above you, if not, maybe to cover them. Escaping chi is like when the chi goes away, the energy, like two windows in front of each other or door going through it. You enter by the door and you have another door. This is called chi escaping. Or a door, you go enter and you face just the bathroom. This is not the best. Physical cleaning, make sure all the contacts, without go grazing, but everything is clean, it's painted, it's not rotten, it's not broken. This is extremely important, so we'll keep a high level of energy, and even of ions. The negative ions, which are the good ones, are much higher. And no contamination, of course, no smoking, no contamination of the air and water. Dead corner, that's where you have some dead energy, maybe to have more round shapes, have colors in the bathroom, to have a better look and energy in the bathroom, to have beautiful entrances, if possible with some water, and to have the 5 elements present. See, this is beautiful bathroom here. It was very colorful. We were thinking by petals. Remember the 7 petal school we saw at level 1? Each petal can have a special bathroom with the color of the petal. It is very colorful. It's very beautiful. This is a school I was talking to you. Remember the Mandala International Academy, and it's based on Vastu, Sastra, and Feng Shui. And see, it's all around, and they have the river flowing, and the entrance is extremely beautiful, and it's all based on geometry. This is inside of it's not inside of the old. All the schools should be like a very neutral color, like kind of white or eggs color, eggshell. But some places can be colorful, or a little color, beautiful colors, or have a special room for the senses, and it will be all colorful. It's called sensory room. And have places for the expo, for the exhibition, and everything is practice and project, and you can see it with a final purpose, and they love it. There is some studies saying with the kids, and it's about human archetypes. The human mind, and maybe self-consciousness part of the subconscious of the human being is linked to caves, to the idea of climbing, to trees and plants. And that's where I'm going to see a couple of pictures. And the other piece of advice, do not overload. Remember the kids nowadays, most of them have something called hyperesthesia, meaning all the senses, the 5 senses are extremely developed, and they can be overwhelmed if you put too much colors, too much things on the wall, or too much noise. Remember that. We have to think about the acoustic. It has to be well thought. And it has to be fun, of course. So let's see the cave. This cave, the teacher, they love it. I don't know who had more fun here. Who had more fun? If that was the teachers or the kids, all of them together, And you can do a bunch of classes, and you do dinosaurs, and you do prehistoric history time and class, and have a very good time here. And they can rest over there and do tales and talk about so many things. On the left side is a peace corner or peace environment, so they can go over there and rest or have a quiet time. It's not punishment. When you have the access to the peace corner, is to reload yourself and to feel good inside. And it should be visible. I would say everywhere. Now I know some places in Chile, they all have the peace corner in kinder and pre-kinder space. It's great. And climbing space. They love to climb. I have a couple of those. Because to climb, it means to have vision, and it means to see what's happening, and it means security. Amazingly enough, you're up in the air, but it means security because you can see what's going on. It's very good for the mind to have a broad vision. This is little girls, it's amazing. She's backwards and she's so good. This is easier. You can go from one environment to the other one, going up the walls like that. There's a rope to help themselves, and on above they have a net, so they can go up a net and do many things, physical exercise while they learn or between classes or project. I don't like the idea of classes anyway. This is the patio or where they play outside, and as well they have a bunch of possibility to climbing walls. And of course you have zero bullying when you have that. It's very good. This is the net I was talking about. It starts in Japan, and it's very beautiful aesthetically, aesthetically. I mean, it's visually beautiful, and it's very safe, and they can play hours here. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. You can even have your library and read books or sleep over there. And it's safe space because you can have your activity below, and then they can do something up in the air. The trees, it's a symbol of life. It's a symbol of connection, ground, earth. They do love trees. And if you have physical trees, of course, much better. Or you can have a platform. Please don't nail on the trunk of the tree. You put the platform around. I saw this kind of platform in Nepal, and it was used for meditation and all kind of quiet activities. And it was, of course, below the biggest tree. It's a very good idea. Oh, I saw a school too. It was a democratic school. They have the school assembly and meetings inside the tree. I mean, they climb the tree and they have their meeting in the tree. I think this is bright. Or you can have your vertical garden. Here is a vertical lettuce grow wall, or you can have some water and some aquarium. The picture below can be like biology or natural science environment. It's cool. Sensor room, I told you about that. It's about multi-sensorial approach, and you have the 5 senses stimulated. And it's based on the fact that the more your 5 senses are developed, the more your inner 5 senses are developed plus intuition. That will be a total of 11 senses. That's beautiful. I think we should have a sensor room in all learning environment. Now, how can we have a 7-petal school for peace, and how we can build that? And we will see a couple of more ideas about learning environment. This is all the ideas we had about the 7-petal schools. It can be a complex for physical activities, cognitive and project activities, social and peace culture activities, heart activities, green, which is ecological environment and free energy, or at least energy that doesn't contaminate, workshop, which is hands-on activities, and personal development. Of course, it's all linked, but we made special environments, so it's easier to implement. This is the same idea, but is done with domes or geodesic structure, and you can have a slide to go from one to the other one. That's very nice. It's a project for Argentina by architect Sofia Alonso. This is Earth Ship. They have a 7-petal sculpture too, and this is done. It's done with garbage. Actually, it's very easy to do, and you have the 7 spaces and the entrance. This is a design with fiber energy spiral. It's beautiful. This is a bigger project for an exhibition hall with education and pedagogy and all kind of neat, new, innovative stuff. This is a project for Italy, and you have all the petals around. It's circular, and the roof is used to run and to do a lot of exercise. That's the roof here. It's a beautiful shape, and it definitely has the 7 petals. This is a project for Bolivia as well. It's two floors to have more space, and they have the 7 petals. And we use more space for internet. This project is based on community, meaning the street and the community and the neighborhood is involved at the school. So it's called community interface, meaning the internet of the school is public and the kids of the neighborhood can use it. The cafeteria as well, some stores as well, the volunteers too. They have a place for an academy, and other teacher can be trained. It's very, it's a project based on solidarity and having the school as a multiplicator, as a, way it will have more projects based. I mean, it will have an influence in the neighborhood, and it will invite other schools and other teachers to multiply all the ideas and new paradigms and new tools. And we use, this is above, and we use all the terrace and all the roofs for all the activities. And it's fun. That's all the ideas, and you have the store, and you have a room to sleep, and we have an astronomical observatory, and cafeteria for parents and the neighborhood and the kids and the volunteers and teachers. This is there's a bakery too, children's store, an academy, and roof to climb and run. This is more for a urban context. All the petals will be above each other, and with the slides, some slides to go from one floor to the other floor. This is a youth complex. It's a cultural center. This is a project for France, and it will be open to the public, but with the 7 petals and the 7 ideas, and it's full of beautiful things inside. It's a project. So far, it will be done. Schools around the world. There is a lot of ideas all around the world. Right now, we are in the process of making a huge international network with exchange, and we share all the ideas. So one architect I really liked is called Prakash Nair, and he started the idea of a flexible learning environment or open school. There is a video in YouTube you can check. It's Singapore American High School with this concept, and you can see there is no wall, and there is no blackboard. So the teacher has a new environment when he's bound to do something in team, and they made all the project. And when they want some privacy, they have some panels, they can have some, but what they do usually, they have classes all over the place, and the kids, the young people, they learn how to be quiet and respect each other. It's very, very, very pedagogical. This is called flexible learning environment, open school, and you can see some videos on internet. The other architect I really like is architect Tezuka Japan. He used a roof to run, so type please Tezuka. It's Fuji Kindergarten, and you can see how they use the roof to run. And you know, the kids, they run like between 1 to 6 kilometers per day, and they are 3, 4, and 5 years old. I really like this school. The other one is, you can find this video too. It's learning while doing exercise. This is from Finland. It's great. The other one is from architect Michael Rice, and it's all based on universal geometry, or it's called as well sacred geometry. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful environment. The one we already saw this one when we saw the green petal during the first set of videos. It's green school body, and the architecture made out of bamboo is absolutely spectacular. And it's very fresh. This is Indonesia. The other, there is absolutely no investment involved. Just it's called forest school. So the kids spend the entire time in the forest. I think this is brilliant. And they are strong. Physically, they are very strong, and emotionally too, especially from 0 to 7 years old. Wonderful. This is another design from Danush Korani. It's more like enterprise type, but it works. For secondary school, for instance, it's great. This is a typical environment from STEAM or STEAM lab. So science, technology, art, mathematics are mixed together, and engineering. So they have all the tools and access to the scanner, the printer, the laser cutter, the computer, and a bunch of tools, sewing machine even. So they can do the project here. There's another project is from Harvard. It's called Project Zero and the Learning Environment for Tomorrow. And it's playful and it's all combined method. This environment is from Emil Derish. It means they follow on the floor. They have like roots and they go like this from one space to the other space. For instance, you can go from one petal to the other petal. This is very nice. This is again the Mandala International Academy, Mexico. In the entrance, you can see the pinal or pine cone and obelix, and this is all compound, and there is a lot of domes and round shapes. And this is inside. They have crystals and beautiful environment up and down. This is the main stairs, and of course there is some water. This is swimming pool for they do meditation in the water. It's great, and they have all the feng shui environment. They have this is something interesting. You can have your positive words, positive affirmation on the stairs, and this is in all languages. So they learn multicultural and peace culture. This is the flower of life. Peace culture, the music is 5 to 8 hertz, which is the frequency of emotional intelligence and the heart. You can mix with hydroponic agriculture, they have a pre-Hispanic solar observatory, and they have a maze, you can do a maze, and with plants as well. This is all the domes. They have 13 domes for a workshop. And I put as well this public school, because public school as well have some very nice innovative experience, like Bulgaria. The name of the school is, the place is Koprivstica Public School, Bulgaria. So as you see, they have the machine. This is the lab for computer and all kind of digital activities, but they have the possibility to do gym and the steps, and they have colors, and they have a production studio. I do encourage to have a studio and do production, so they can do their movie, they can do a radio, they can do all kind of audiovisual product. They have music at the entrance. Here it's me when I visit the school. It's done with Suggestopedia method. They have a band, and they have, it's like homemade. It's like the environment is like to be at home. So you have the tables like if it is home, the lighting like if it is your house. It's a very nice environment. What I saw from this school is very cozy. They have couch. They have place to have social meeting. It's like to be in your home. They have nice colors. They have sofas and many places to socialize and relax. They have punching balls and Rocodromo is a wall to climb, and they have a gym, what's the name of it? A gym with all the machine inside and steps inside the classroom and on the first floor for everybody. Good illumination, good acoustic, plants. I saw, as they have a classroom with a lot of plants. It's really changed the atmosphere. When it's possible, you can have pets, and the music is 432 hertz, 524 hertz, or 963 hertz. The first one is for harmony, the second one is for the heart, and the third one is for connection. Don't put it all the time, but always consider very nice music as an environment from time to time. The other one I really like is from Uruguay. This is a private, no, it's not private. It's a primary school. It's a public school. And it's done with bioconstruction method by Michael Reynolds, earthship.com. The place is called Jauregui Berry, Uruguay. And it's a very nice school. I mean, the architecture is fabulous and it's all self-sustained. So it's a good example for the kids. And that's Uruguay. Now, let's go back to the ancient time. It was, all structures was based on the Fibonacci spiral and the golden proportion and on hertz. Like it's proved now by researchers that they have the special combination, the shape and the material use gives a special frequency that they use for special purposes. So they saw that ancient temples have a frequency synchronized between 95 and 120 hertz, which is pretty high, because we know that 108 hertz, between 108 hertz and 112 hertz, there is a shift to the prefrontal cortex, to the frontal lobe. And this is very important. Like if you have a class on, I don't know, a subject, cognitive subject, if you just have these hertz inside the classroom or whatever you want to call it, the learning environment. I recommend the work of Paul Devereux, he's French. And as well, the megalithic temples, there is a lot of research done, especially by a friend, it's Martinho. She's from Portugal, architect Martinho. She, I mean, and her team, they figure out as well that all the old, beautiful ancient temples are between 95 and 120 hertz. And the same with the pyramids, actually. And it has to do with the brain length. And we can enhance that. So Tesla, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So we can transform the learning environment as a beautiful, vibrant, and calculated. It's aesthetic, it's nice, the acoustic is nice, and the frequency inside each room is precisely what we want for better learning and better connection. A couple of books I will recommend: Ponce de Leon, Alvarez Ponce de Leon, Melchizedek, Don Valo, Schneider Nichols, this is in English, it's a beautiful book, and Winter Dan, it's in English too. We have a blog only on architecture. It's architecture3000.weebly.com, and we have a lot of videos on all those subjects. So visit our blog, Architecture 3000, please. And let's stay together. There is a lot of information with architecture and design. And please, with common sense, with fun, ask the kids what they want, and we can transform education as well outside into a beautiful, 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 flexible learning environment. And it won't be a beautiful, great change for everybody, for the whole society. And I'm talking about kindergarten, primary, secondary, schools, university. We have so much to do and to open and to enjoy. Thank you very much. Next video. Oh yeah, I will see universal geometry. We will go deeper into that and explore more. Bye bye.